And there we go. Time to get going. Huge welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend this time with me live here on Zoom. And today we're talking about how to create premium offers that sell themselves. Right? There are so many coaches and consultants who have started businesses, particularly in the last year or so. And I see a lot of them are really struggling. And I think a big piece of the reason why they're struggling is because they don't have an offer that the market necessarily wants, or they're just not positioning it quickly. So I'm really hoping to help solve that problem for you today. So let's get into it. This is obviously a masterclass for coaches and consultants, which is why you're all here. So I just want to quickly put this out there. Not a big deal, but if you decide you enjoy what I have to say and you want some help implementing this stuff, then feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn or reach out to me and book a call with me. I'm going to drop my calendar link here in the chat. And we will, connect and chat and see if you're a good fit to work together. Moving on. So deciding exactly what to offer your clients can be super confusing, right? There are so many different things that you need to consider. Do you go low ticket? Do you go high ticket? Do you use both? How do you make the best possible offer? How do you stand out from what everyone else is doing? How do you differentiate your offer? Okay. How much do you charge? How do you determine the value of your program? Or how do you work out what the return on investment is going to be for your clients, particularly if you're not in the business of making other people money, right? And there's another aspect that a lot of coaches and consultants don't think of when they are starting out, and that is, how do I create an offer that is a win-win for both myself and my clients? Okay, what a lot of people end up doing is they charge for hourly sessions, they sell hourly sessions. Now, those are not a win for your clients because they cannot get a big result or a transformation with an hourly session, right? And it's not a win for you because you only have so many hours in the day, which means there's only so much money that you're going to be able to make. It's not something you can scale if that is what you want to do. And to make any kind of decent income, you're going to have to be working long hours, day in and day out. And basically, you're trading time for money and you're just creating another job for yourself. And that is not why you've started your own business. I'm sure you can all agree. So what happens? You figure some of this stuff out and you finally put an offer out there. You share it on social media, you share it with your email list, you talk to people about it, and then you wait. And there are crickets, right? You might get a few likes on your post, but likes don't pay the bills. And maybe a few people comment that it's a great offer, but they don't buy. And you can't pay the bills with comments either, can you? So what do? You keep trying. You try something else, like offering a discount, and still nothing. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced this. When I first started my coaching business, the first offer that I tried, I had exactly the same thing. 6 months, I couldn't sell it. I tried a second offer, and guess what? I couldn't sell that either. And what was happening to me was I was getting deeper and deeper and deeper into debt and considering going back to a job. And I didn't want to do that, right? So I can see, a lot of people saying yes, yes, yes. They've experienced this. It's a real problem. It is a real problem. I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Emma. All right. Emma has this amazing gift for helping people, right? She has this talent. She's passionate. She wants to help people. She absolutely loves what she does. She's been in business for about a year and she is super active on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And she's tried all the tickets. Okay. She's tried low tickets. She's tried high tickets. She's tried one-off sessions. She's tried cheat sheets. She's tried lead magnets. She's tried everything you can think of. She's tried, and she still struggles to book clients. So Emma is pretty much like me when I first started out. What does she do? She ends up helping people for free because it doesn't seem to matter what she tries, how she words her offer. Like people just don't buy. They don't buy. But now there's problems with the way that Emma is positioning herself and with what she's trying to do. So here's what she's got. She's got a large audience on social media and email, right? She's got a large audience, but she still can't make sales. She talks about how amazing her program is. She's one of those coaches who has her credentials splashed everywhere, right? She loves talking about her credentials, her certifications, her expertise. If you go and look at her about section on LinkedIn, you'll see it's all there in her about section, all the things that she's done, right? In her marketing, she shares tips, she shares tools, she thinks she's sharing valuable content, but she doesn't have a clear target market, right? Because her offer's not working, she keeps changing it. And because she keeps changing it, she has to keep changing her marketing message as well. And pretty much every time she does this, it's like she's starting all over again. So people start to get to know her for what she does and who she helps, and she's not making sales, and then she changes. And they've got to get to know her all over again. It's not a good strategy. She spends her time trying to convince her market that they have a problem. This is a really bad place to be at because think about it. If you are having to try and convince people that they have a problem that they need help with, then that's going to take a hell of a lot of time and energy and effort on your part. Whereas where you should be focusing your offer is on the people who know they have a problem and are looking for a solution. Or perhaps they know that there is something stopping them from getting them to a specific goal, and you are able to help them get there faster. All right. So you need to be targeting people who are actively looking for a solution, not people who don't know they have a problem. Does this make sense so far? Let me know. Emma is super scared of failure. She herself now, she's getting into so much debt and she knows that something needs to change, but she's not sure what. She feels like she's tried everything. Thanks, Harry says, makes perfect sense. Good, 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 good. All right, so what is Emma trying to do? She's actually trying to sell herself. People don't want to buy Emma, right? She's trying to sell her belief in how awesome she is. She's trying to sell her credentials and her expertise. Now, while it's good to have expertise and it's good to have certifications, that's not what is going to make people buy from you. Quite honestly, they don't care. Your clients only care that you can help them solve a problem or you can get them to their end goal faster than they could do it on their own. Okay. She's trying to sell the amount of time you get to spend with her and the access that you have with her. While it's important to let people know what they can expect with working, when they're working with you, that is not the most important thing. All right. People don't buy necessarily access to you. All right. She's also trying to sell things like swap files and scripts and downloads. Those can be useful, but they are not high value. Okay. They're useful because they can help you save time. but they're not worth 4 figures or 5 figures. Okay. She's trying to sell her teachings. She's trying to sell education, and she's trying to cram her program full of so much value. She thinks people want to buy value. And in reality, that is not what the market wants. If you want to be a high ticket coach or consultant, these things are not valuable to high ticket clients. Okay. What is valuable? Well, we're going to get into that just now. But so many people emphasize all of these things in their marketing, all over their profiles, all over their, their content that they're sharing, they're listing their credentials, they're listing how much access you get. They're trying to offer you value and education and tips and tools and techniques and secrets. And that is not what high ticket people want. Okay. Give me a 1 if you've been through a program like this, and give me a 2 if not. I'm curious to see. I have. I have. I'm getting, Maya says 2, Paul says 1, David says 1, Michael says 1. Hi, Michael. You weren't here when I was welcoming everyone else earlier. Thanks for joining. Daniela 1, Vanessa 1. Okay. Coach Dean 1 and 2. Lynn, welcome. 1. Yeah. All right. And was that what you were actually wanting to buy? Were you wanting to buy all of that stuff? I don't think so. I don't think so. So it's not what her prospects want, because no one needs more value. No one needs more education. Sure, they might need to know a certain thing so that they can get, further or take a certain action, but they don't need a ton of education. People seem to think, because on Facebook, for example, you can scroll through there and you can get targeted with adverts where people are offering, 9 modules filled with all of this stuff and all of these scripts and all of these downloads for $27. So you might see that and feel like your high ticket offer has to have even more, like 20 times more stuff in than that, because that's only $27. But that is not the case. High ticket people don't need lots and lots of stuff. In fact, they want less. So this is what Emma's market actually wants. All right. They want a solution to their problem or a shortcut to their goal. Okay. They want a big transformation. They want her to help with that big transformation. Okay. They want a specialist or an expert to help them reach their goals, get to their destination that they're looking for. Okay. Just taking an example, real life example for myself. When my son was a baby, he had problems with his ears. He kept getting ear infections. So we took him to the GP and we asked for a referral to the ENT because we wanted a specialist to have a look at his ears. We were worried about him having hearing damage later on in life. So, the GP is like your jack of all trades. They're a generalist, right? Generalist doctor. And you don't want a generalist doctor to be doing a big diagnosis or doing surgery on you, right? You want to go to a specialist. So, took my son to a specialist and discovered that my son needed grommets. And because he was a specialist, we trusted him to do the surgery and put the grommets in. And, we did that. And my son's hearing is fine and it sorted out the problem. But there is no way my GP would have been able to do that. And there's no way I would have trusted my GP to, cut my son's ears open. All right. I hope this makes sense. And what your market also wants, and what her market wanted, was to buy based on emotion. They'll buy on, how you make them feel and excitement. And what they also want is an incredible experience. Okay, so her market doesn't want to have to watch millions of videos full of information. So as you are creating your programs, leave out anything that's not 100% necessary. Okay. They want solutions to big problems. And they want to have a great time working with you. Now, I want to introduce you to somebody else. This is Zoe. She's also an absolutely amazing woman. She's a brilliant coach. And she struggled like like Emma did. But then she figured it out, okay? She found out what her market actually wanted and what they were actively looking for. She is the expert in her field. She claims it boldly, okay? And all of her content, everything she puts out to her market, speaks to her being the absolute expert and authority in her space. She offers a high level transformation. And because she does that, it means that she can charge a lot of money for it. She provides a unique experience and she only gives her clients what they need. So give me an A if you can relate to Emma, and if you want to be more like Zoe. Give me a B if you feel like you're already like Zoe. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of A's coming through. Paul, Michael, Vanessa. Okay. Dean is already like Zoe. That is epic. Pam, A. Daniela's A/B. Harry Armistead, A+B-. I like that. Okay. Maya, you are absolutely on the way to B, 100%. All right. Okay. So how did Zoe create her irresistible offer? Probably what you all want to know, right? So here's how Zoe reached her success, okay? She spoke to her target market to identify exactly what it was that they needed and what they wanted. All right. So what this means for you is you need to do market research. I know it's something that a lot of people don't like to do, but honestly, the difference between success and failure is how well you know your market. You're going to need to find out what it is that your clients are struggling with. What are the big problems they have? Or on the other hand, what are those big goals that they have? What are those big aspirations they have that you can help them get to faster than they can do on their own? What are they actively looking for? Okay, you're going to have to reach out to people in your market and ask them specific questions to get those answers. And it's going to help you create your offer. All right. There's some other questions to ask as you are developing your offer as well. So some important facts. Now I want to write this down. Okay, do you have people with money in your market? Firstly, if you want to offer high ticket, if you want premium clients, they need to have money. It's no use advertising and marketing to broke people because they can't afford to pay for it. Okay, so number one, they need to have money. Number two, you got to figure out the big crisis, their bleeding neck problem, or that huge goal that you can help them get to faster. All right. And then number three, is this a revolving door market? What does that mean? How easy is it for your perfect client to enter the market to need your services? Okay. If you have, to give you an example of this, think about having a wart on your hand. All right. You have a wart, you don't want it anymore. You go and you have it cut off. Problem solved. Okay. You might not ever get a wart again. All right. That is not a good market for you to go into because it's not a big problem. It's not a repeat problem. And it's very easy to resolve. People can go off and just have it cut off and that's done. You want something that is going to be a little more complicated where people actually need help and it's easy for them to get into the market. So another example of something that's difficult to get into would be if you want to help someone start a particular kind of business and they need to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to start up, okay? It's not easy for people to enter that market. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right. Then the next thing is she created a unique process to help her clients reach that transformation that they desired. Now, there's a number of factors within this piece. Okay. Number one was she created a unique process. That means her offer looks different to everybody else's. She managed to find something different to offer. So she might, at the core, she might have exactly the same offer and exactly the same program as thousands of other coaches out there, but she found a way to make it unique. So if you can offer something slightly different, if you can offer a bonus that no one else is offering, if you can find a way to get your clients to their result faster or easier, then that is going to set you apart in a big way. Okay. And she's helping them reach a transformation. All right. You don't want to solve small problems. You want to take one big problem and help your clients solve that. And again, within this, another part is a process. Okay. When you have a step-by-step process that you can guide your clients through. So even if you're a mindset coach or you're a life coach or whatever it is that you're doing, ultimately, while if you're doing one-to-one, while you might have to make adjustments for different people, ultimately you're going to have the same similar process that you're going to take every single client through, and you're going to make little adjustments off that. But you're going to have, say, 3, 4, or 5 core things that you're going to do with every single person. Okay, so when you can develop your step-by-step process to guide your clients through, it becomes a proven process, because when you've taken a few people through it and they're all getting results, then you know what can be expected at the end of the program. Okay. This is going to give you more confidence as well with your marketing, but that's a whole nother topic. All right. When you have a proven process and a step-by-step process to take your clients through, it becomes easier for you to explain how you work. Okay, your marketing, you can talk about your process and how it works. It becomes easier for people to understand what it is that you do and how you can help them. And when they can understand and when you can clearly explain it in simple language, it allows them to see that you are the expert. Okay, and this helps to build trust. And when it's easy for them to understand, they're more likely to buy, because they can see how it applies to them. They can see how it's going to work. All right. And the next thing she did was she created an amazing experience. High ticket people, premium clients, they want to have a really amazing time working with you. Okay. If you think about taking an airplane, you have coach where it's cheap, you're all crammed in together. There's no leg room. You know, some airlines, you don't get free food and drinks. You have to buy that extra. Okay. It's cheap, but it's going to get you to your destination, right? Or if you want a better experience, you're going to pay for first class. You might get a room to yourself, lie flat kind of chairs. You're going to have champagne and food brought to you. At the end of the day, both options get you to the end results. They get you to your destination, but they are two completely different experiences, right? So people will pay for an amazing experience. The last thing she did was she positioned herself as the absolute expert in her niche. And she didn't do that by sharing her credentials. She did it through talking about how she helps her clients, sharing client wins. Okay. So how could this look like in a little more detail, and how can you build out your offer so that it's a winner? Okay. So Zoe focused on one core result, one transformation. I just want to check in and make sure everyone is keeping up. Is this making sense so far? Give me a yes. Then I'll carry on. Tristan says yes. Maya completely. Michael, yes. Okay, good. Paul, yes. Okay, awesome. So You want to pick the biggest thing that you can help your clients with and focus on that and on that only. All right. So this will be your front end offer. This is what you market all the time. This is how you bring people into your program. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you can't help people with other things. You absolutely can. But for your marketing to be very effective and to bring people into your world with an amazing offer, you focus on one thing. From there, you can upsell them into a continuation program, a maintenance program, something like that, okay? Or something to help them get even further. But your front end offer, you focus on one core thing and one thing only, and it has to offer a big transformation. You want to keep it as short as possible as well. People make the mistake of thinking that they have to charge a lot of money and have 6 months or 12 months where they're working with someone. That is not the case. All right. People want their results in as short a time as possible. So that is also why it's better to have less information, less value, less content, less teachings, less trainings. Okay. Only give your clients what they absolutely need to get to the end result. The faster you can do it, the better. We're busy. We don't want to be bogged down in tons and tons and tons of videos and hundreds of worksheets for 6 months or a year. It's like going to college, right? We want to get things done quickly and as easily as we possibly can. And don't offer too much in your programs or it becomes completely overwhelming. And that's why a lot of people don't finish or they don't get results because they're overwhelmed and it's just too much. What she did then was she outlined the simple steps that she's going to take her clients through, removed all of that fluff. Okay, she took out everything that wasn't necessary. She actually listed down each session and each module. She listed out exactly what she needed to do to move her clients to their end result. And then she worked out how much time was necessary in between for implementation. And that's how she got to her time frame that her clients needed to work with her. Okay. She gave it a catchy name, so it was something cool to talk about. She added in a bonus to make it unique and special to her. And then she priced it according to the return on investment that her clients were going to get from working with her. Now, when it comes to pricing, this is a hot topic, right? People often don't know how to price their programs. And ideally, you want to have a look at it where your prospects are going to think, is this going to cost me more money to buy the program? Or is it going to cost me more money in the long run to not buy it? And that's where you want your clients to be. So, for example, if you are a health and fitness coach, all right, and you help people to lose weight, perhaps you work with obese people and you help them lose weight. How much money are you saving those people on doctor visits, possible surgery? You know, you're lengthening their life. Like it's $1 million problem. Okay. Over the course of their life, it could be like $1 million problem that you are saving them. So you can charge high ticket for that, right? Another way to look at it is have a look at what the return on investment for, or how much it's likely to cost your client over the next year. All right. And then charge 5 or 10% of that yearly total is another way that you can look at it. Okay. And then be careful with your pricing as well, because if you're offering this massive transformation and you're not charging very much, it's like under $1,000, people aren't going to believe you that you can get them to that result because it's too cheap. Now, look, there are exceptions where, you know, cheap actually gets results, but that is often not the case. And people are not necessarily going to believe that you are the expert that you say that you are. They're not going to believe that you can get them to that end result. And again, if you are promising only a small result, yet you want to charge this massive amount for it, people aren't going to want to buy because it's going to cost them more money to buy the program than it is for them not to buy. Does this make sense? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. You're all still with me. All right. Yes. Good, good, good. All right. So one thing I'd like you to remember is your clients will buy based on the result that you can help them achieve. And they will buy based on emotion. Okay. They'll justify it later with logic, but they will buy based on emotion. They don't buy access to you. They don't buy content. They don't buy worksheets. They don't buy the delivery method. They don't buy any of that stuff. They buy the result that you will help them achieve. Sure, some people will have a preference one-to-one versus group. And that's normally because of biases from the past. But they will buy based on the result. Now, there's something that I want to chat to you guys about, and this will help to set you apart. Now, I'm seeing the coaching and consulting industry. I mean, it's really booming. There's more and more coaches and consultants starting up online than ever before. And I think it's going to become increasingly more difficult to get clients online. So there's some things that you can do to set yourself up for success in the long run. And the one thing is to create an amazing experience for your clients. Okay. Now, some tips for doing this, some things that you can implement. And I'd like you to go and brainstorm what you can do. And we'll start off with VIP access. Okay. Make people feel special by giving them VIP access to you, so, or to your other programs. For example, laser coaching. I love giving my clients laser coaching because that means they have access to me whenever they need me. They don't have to wait a week to speak to me about something that's bothering them right now. Okay. So I'm not slowing down their progress because I will give them answers as quickly as I can. And I don't believe in booking hourly sessions either because, you might feel like you need to fill the hour and you don't really. Okay, so laser coaching is a brilliant way to give your clients VIP access. You can offer them early access to other offers. If you're working on other stuff, offer it to your current clients before you put it out to the rest of the market. It makes them feel special. You can give them access to niche specialists. Okay, if you realize that you can't be the expert in everything, and maybe they need help with a couple of other things like mindset, or like in my case, I offer my clients access to a brilliant, very short video course that helps them to sell using live videos. Okay, I can't teach them as well as this guy, so I give them access to a specialist. Give them extras. Like if, for example, you have a 10-week program and your clients aren't quite getting the results that they wanted, extend the time that you work with them and work with them until they get the results. Okay, that is creating an amazing experience. Don't just take their money, work with them for the set amount of time and then tell them to push off. All right, especially if they're not getting the results. Give them little gifts. Send them a gift card on their birthday. Send them a little card when they join your program, little handwritten card, little handwritten notes, something like that. Just those little extra touches can go a long way and give them additional access to you. So if, for example, you have a group program, then you can invite them to pay a little bit extra and they get 1 or 2 bonus sessions with you where they actually get to work with you one-on-one. Okay. And check in with your clients. Don't wait for them to check in with you. Life is busy. People get preoccupied. Before you know it, you haven't heard from your client for 2 weeks and they've gone and they've followed your training and they've gone off in their own direction. It could be the wrong direction. So you want to make sure you're checking in with your clients regularly to keep them on track. Right. Something else that could set you apart is exclusivity. All right. Create specific trainings that are only for your clients that you don't share with other people. Okay. They pay a lot of money to spend with you, spend time with you and get results from you. So do training that's only for them and give them some recognition. All right. If you have a client who's crushing it, Feature them on social, feature them in your group, feature them wherever you like, okay? But give them that recognition, acknowledge them, make them feel important and appreciated. Basically, you want to become completely client-centric. You want your clients to become excited to talk to you and be available, be there for them. If you are giving your clients this amazing experience and they're getting results, they're going to spread the word and it's going to help you in the long run. I don't recommend relying on referrals for your business. You've got to do the marketing piece. You've got to get that right. But it is one piece that definitely helps. Okay. It doesn't hurt. Now, if this resonates with you guys, I'm just going to give you this quick little invitation again. If this is something that you want help with, if you want help with creating your offer and marketing it, reach out to me. I'm going to drop my calendar link in the chat. Okay. Feel free to book a call with me. Other than that, I'm going to take questions now. Let me know. Do you have any questions around creating offers, pricing, anything that I haven't covered that you would like me to answer for you right now? Anybody? Okay. Mary said it's been great. All right. If there, I'm trying to copy my calendar link. There we go. So again, you're welcome to book a call with me. If you want to chat, there's no pressure. I can see if I can help you. Even if you just have questions, do you want to chat to me privately about, drop me a message. Oh, Harry's booked a call. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, but I hope you found this valuable and I hope it's kind of helped you cement in your mind what your offer should look like, what it could look like, anything that you can improve in your current offer. I know I look at this all the time and try and make improvements in my own offer. And great, Stephen says, thank you, very valuable, lots of food for thought. Tristan, thanks, Anne, it's been a great session. Paul Brown, thank you. Rita, thank you, she'll be in touch. Okay, Coach Dean is loving this. Lynn, thank you, Anne. Thank you, everyone, for watching. There's no questions, so I'm not going to leave you all hanging here. Go and create amazing offers and book amazing clients.